Friends, welcome to Dr. Vet channel. I am Dr. P.R. Patel, Professor Head Veterinary Medicine. We have already seen hepatic fascioliasis part 1 and part 2. Here we will see a concluding part 3. In this we will see pathological lesions, diagnosis, differential diagnosis, treatment, prevention and control of hepatic fascioliasis is a very important endoparasitic disease of domestic animals. You have understood the pathogenesis, clinical finding. Now we see the postmortem finding. Postmortem finding of acute fascioliasis. In acute fascioliasis, there is a blood-stained exudate is found, and that is sometimes confused with anthrax disease. The liver is enlarged, liver is pale and friable. There are fibrinous clots observed on the surface. In acute infection, the damage to the liver is very extensive. Characteristics are the hemorrhagic tracts of migratory immature flukes in the lungs and liver. Young flukes migrate and they form a tract or tunnel that is observed. There is black parasitic waste material in liver, lungs and peritoneum. This black parasitic waste material is nothing but a dead liver fluke and eggs. Because of the degeneration, it looks black. Icterus due to liver damage. Whole carcass is yellowish or icteric. There is secondary bacterial infection in liver and small hepatic abscesses are observed in the liver because of the secondary bacterial infection. Postmortem finding of subacute and chronic fascioliasis. If you see the carcass is emaciated, carcass is anemic or edematous in severe chronic infections. Characteristic is presence of flukes in liver parenchyma. If you cut the liver, you will find presence of flukes. Another characteristic, enlarged, fibroid, thickened bile duct. Pipe stem liver. This is found in liver. We have already studied in pathology that it is nothing but the bile ducts become fibrosed, enlarged, hyperplastic, and there is calcification. So it looks like a pipe stem. So it is called as pipe stem liver. That can be seen on the liver. They projected outside the liver. There is enlargement of the gallbladder because of the obstruction of the bile duct. The cattle lungs contain a areca nut sized cyst containing brownish gelatinous material. This brownish gelatinous material is nothing but containing live and dead calcified flukes. Here we see the diagnosis of fascioliasis. There is history of presence of fascioliasis occurring in an area or occurring near to the pools, near to the pond, near to the stream, river. There are classical signs of the fistuliosis, we have already seen it. Identification of characteristic egg in feces in subacute and chronic cases. Because in acute cases, the young immature fluke do not lay egg. They lay eggs when they mature. So in acute cases, clinician may not find the eggs, but in chronic cases, subacute cases, eggs are found in feces, and eggs are large in size and characteristic yellow colored because the egg has to pass through the bile, liver color bile, so they get yellow colored. That is the characteristic. One can differentiate between empistoma and this fasciolasis. In empistomiasis, there is a operculum and knob, operculum at one side and knob at the other side. This is absent in fasciola, X. Clinical pathology of acute fasciolasis cases. There is severe normochromic anemia. That is because of hemorrhage. Because of the parasitic disease, there is eosinophilia. There is leakage of protein, albumin. So hypoalbuminemia. There is increase of serum enzyme, aspartate aminotransferase, AST. The liver contains this enzyme. When liver is damaged, this enzyme is leaked into the serum and serum contain increased level of AST. Clinical pathology in subacute chronic cases of fasciolasis. There is severe hypochromic macrocytic anemia. There is hypoalbuminemia, hyperglobulinemia. There is increased enzyme serum glutamyl transpeptidase. This enzyme also present in liver to metabolize toxin. So this enzyme glutamyl transpeptidase suggests liver damage. Diagnosis can be performed by latest test, certain serological test, where parasite-specific antibody detection can be done by ELISA test. By taking X-ray radiological diagnosis, one can see the damage in liver. On laparotomy also, the liver can be seen infested with liver fluke and the pathology on liver. Disease is required to be differentiated from following diseases. We have already seen that in acute cases, there's a blood is oozing out from natural orifices. Same thing happen in anthrax. Anthrax can be differentiated by its per acute course and examination of blood. Another disease, infectious necrotic hepatitis, caused by Clostridium novyi. Simultaneously, fascioliasis and infectious necrotic hepatitis also occurring. Chronic diarrhea in Jones disease, hemoncosis also causes nearly similar symptoms. Parasitic gastroenteritis, osteoarthritis, all these parasitic diseases produce similar symptoms that can be differentiated by examination of fecal sample and finding of characteristic egg of particular species of parasite. We see here the treatment. Treatment of acute fasciitis require drugs highly effective against young immature flukes, while the treatment of chronic fasciitis require drugs highly effective against adult mature. Some of the older drugs, they are 90% to 100% effective against mature flukes are mentioned here. Carbon tetrachloride, that is the oldest drug. Carbon tetrachloride, hexachloroethane, hexachlorophene, Hatol, Bitonol. These are the older drugs, but they are effective against mature flukes. Recently, there is research, and recent drugs are there effective against both mature and immature flukes. The name of drugs are diamphenythide, oxyclosanide, rafoxanide, nitroxyl, benzimidazole, and this is the derivative of albendazole and oxyfenbendazole. The most effective latest drugs are, and that is effective against both mature and immature flukes are, and nowadays used triclabendazole, effective against mature immature fluke, highly effective. Closantal, highly effective drug against mature immature flukes. Prevention and control of fasciitis. Control of snail is a very important step. It can be achieved by physical, chemical, and biological methods. In physical, by physical picking up of the snails and providing effective drainage to the area. Make the area dry, automatically snails will die. There are chemicals used. These chemicals are called as molluscicide. Snails belong to molluscus. So, name of the chemical used to kill the snail is molluscicide. The chemicals used are copper sulfate powder in this concentration applied on the land. There is an effective chemical N tritylomorpholine applied on the land. There is biological control, rearing of the ducks, geese, frogs, certain bacteria, viruses that can attack on snail and that can produce a disease on snail to kill the snail. Further steps for the prevention and control. Important is regular deworming program according to the season environment and according to the area, waterlogging area. So different programs are formulated in different area and different seasons. Avoid grazing of animals near the waterlogging area so that to keep them away from flukes and snails. Intensive rearing of animals during peak season of fasciitis and snail, and during the phase of outbreak or for the prevention, use chemoprophylaxis during the period of infection. By this way, clinician can control and prevent the occurrence of fasciitis. Friends, here we conclude fasciolasis. Share this important information to our friends. This is very, very important from the field point of view, from the exam point of view, from the knowledge point of view. Requested to subscribe this channel to give the lift to the channel. Thank you very much for observing this video.